The AI artists have now infiltrated the course scamming world, and I am so sad that this happens. This was first DM'd to me by a YouTuber called Friendly Neighborhood Artist, where they made a video about this, but they wanted me to also talk about the video, so I'm down to talk about your video, talking about somebody else's video, talking about the scam. So this is their YouTube channel. It's Friendly Neighborhood Artist. Basically, in this video, they are talking about a scam called Comic Pencil, which is a Facebook page where it is posting art tutorials, except the art tutorials are completely AI generated. So if you look at here, they show you anatomy of like how to draw the face, and then bam, very anime face. They have this one where Friendly Neighborhood Artist was basically pointing out the anatomy construction planes and then the face. Like, they don't even look the same, y'all. This is not the same dude. The jawline, bro went from this and then he started mewing and ended up looking like this, okay? These two are not the same people. The brows got lower. These brows are higher. And then the jawline is sharper. The hair is not even the same. He's not even facing the same way. Like, look, there's a little bit of chin and then neck. And then from here, the side of his cheek instantly connects with his neck. It's not even the same thing. Here's another one, granny sketch, final drawing of the grandma. Yo, it ain't the same at all. The nose is not even the same. Not even the same nose. Not even the same eyebrows. My cat is screaming because he ain't even happy about this. Oh, and the guy sold an art book. What in the AI is this, bro? You got the skull, caricature skull. How is this gonna help you learn how to draw, by the way? Look at how AI this face is. This is all AI, by the way. All extreme AI generation. I can smell it from a mile away. This looks extremely AI. Extremely, extremely, extremely AI. Now, if you're not an artist, you might be like, Kat, why does this look very AI to you? And to this, I can point it out because it looks very uncanny valley. So the reason being is when professional artists draw characters, but they exaggerate the expressions to tell a story, there is a reason why certain expressions and certain elements of the character is exaggerated. And they typically will only exaggerate a handful of elements. So the reason why this character looks wrong is because everything is exaggerated, which is a concept that professional artists don't do. Look at this guy. Every element of this character is exaggerated. His nose is large. His eyes are huge. His eyebrows are massive. His mouth is huge. His ears are huge. His chin is huge. What does this tell you about this character? Literally nothing besides he looks scary. Now, let me show you a Disney character or a Pixar character. But let's look at Carl from Up. He has a very exaggerated face shape. But if you notice, only certain elements of his character is exaggerated. And it's done in a way to emphasize his traits. So a square shape is typically used in character design to reference something that is sturdy, solid, strong, and stubborn. This grandpa is stubborn as hell, which is why giving him a square face shape makes sense. It conveys the stubbornness in this character, which is why he also has square glasses. And some elements of his character is exaggerated. He has a really big nose and big ears, but other elements of him is not exaggerated. He has a relatively small mouth. Even though it's long, it's quite thin, and his eyes are small to balance out the exaggeration in the features so it's not overwhelming to the eye to look at. This is obviously designed by a bunch of human beings. We can look at Russell for an example. He is round. Round characters convey cuteness, softness, comfort, cozy. He is the comedic relief in the movie. He's really fun, and he's a kid that we want to take care of. So that cuteness, that youthfulness comes through in his round face shape. He also has exaggerated features in his large ears. But if you notice, the other elements of his face are pretty small. The eyes, the nose, the mouth, and he has a very exaggerated mouth with his expressions, but the feature itself is not large. He is comfortable to look at as a character because everything exists in balance. The roundness of his face and the size of his ears exist in exaggeration, but it's balanced out by the smallness of his other features, designed by a human being. Now, the reason why this character looks wrong and scary is because there is no balance between the size and the exaggeration of the elements, and the exaggeration of the elements is not done with purpose. If his eyes are extremely large and his eyebrows are really high up, it could indicate that this character is very excited. But then to balance it out, we should make everything else normal size nose, a smaller mouth, smaller ears, so it looks balanced, so the exaggeration of the size of the eyes can really convey excitement. But because the mouth is also large too, and the ears are also large, it really gives us an uncanny valley appearance to this character because it's so unbalanced. And this is something that AI does because AI doesn't have the knowledge of these character design concepts to make a comfortable looking character. So if you notice, as this book is flipped through, all the characters or the caricature characters are very scary looking because there is no balance in the design whatsoever. If I go here, look at this character. Again, no balance. There's a huge square chin and a huge mouth and big eyes and really exaggerated eyebrows and big ears. So it looks very spooky. It doesn't give you comfort or conveys any valid information. So here we have some more humanoid characters. Again, here are some characters with shapes that also don't make sense. Think in a square shape, but like for what reason? It doesn't tell you why. It doesn't tell you that square shapes convey, solidness, stubbornness, like security, bulk, strength. They're just squares for no rhyme or reason. Like this kid just looks very innocent and scared. Making him very square shaped doesn't balance out correctly. He doesn't look very stubborn or stoic or strong. He looks spooked and young and cute. Like he should just be round shaped. So again, here are all these characters drawn with no rhyme or reason. Also notice they highlight the T-zone, but for no reason. They're just like green. So yeah, that's just kind of like one thing I wanted to call out as to why this looks AI. And if you're not an artist, it might be harder to tell. Here they have more AI slideshows, various angles of an old woman. But because this is AI, there's no consistency between the pieces. If you look here, there's like a little M shape up here that doesn't appear on this side of the head. They're the same angle, but the M shape is gone. But then the M shape is back when she turns to look this way. But then when she looks forward, it splits in two and it makes like two flowers. And then when she looks to the left, there's no white anymore on the banner. We can look here too. The length of this character's hair doesn't stay the same. It's like Dora the Explorer length over here, but on this one, it's longer. And then here, it's even longer. There's no consistency. Again, here we can see this character has two earrings, but it just disappears sometimes. Just no earrings, no earrings. Now there's one, but there's like a black stripe on it, and it's a circle. But now it becomes like a long teardrop shape, and now it becomes what looks like acorns. No consistency either. So yeah, these books are all really AI. It's all AI. I'm sure you guys, if you guys have seen a lot of AI art, as this book is being flipped through, you can recognize the AI-ness of the book. That they're selling for $29 a piece, or for all of them together, it's like $94. Yeah, the whole bundle of all four together is $94 for AI art. And then Friendly Neighborhood Artist points out a new account they found called Tatan Drawing. Let's look at this account, guys. Here is their account, exploring various styles based on fundamental principles. They too also do tutorial style posts, teaching you how to draw. Except this guy's art looks very AI. The face shape, the structure, everything looks very AI, and they're trying to figure out why. Again, look at this character, very AI. This one definitely gives me AI. AI tends to draw smiling girls in this pose with their chin tilted slightly up for some reason. I don't know why AI likes doing that, but they do. And if we go to the very, very bottom, they have gesture drawings like this that they show. More gesture drawings. More gesture drawings. But as I was looking at this, something looked very suspicious to me. Look at this one. Let's look at this one. This one is probably the most sus to me. Something looks off in these gesture drawings, to me specifically. And the entire time in their video, Friendly Neighborhood Artist was stating that they were like, this must be AI, but I'm not sure how they make it. Let me show you how you can fake something like this. The line weight for everything makes no sense. So what I'm referring to this is, in art, there is a concept of varying the line weight to draw the viewer's attention to some places and not to others. So for instance, you would make the line weight of something with a shadow thicker and something without a line weight thinner, so it appears more in the distance, smaller, etc. And when you have a lot of lines together, it can make something look darker, thicker, more imposing. Why exactly are there a whole bunch of dots on this rock down here? Why is this rock drawn so thick, so dark, whatever? So if you black something out, the viewer's eyes are going to be drawn towards it. So if you black out the rock with all these little dots and hatches on it, your eyes are constantly going to be drawn downwards towards the rock instead of upwards towards the dragon. From an artistic perspective, it's an incorrect choice to make. You should instead be like darkening the dragon so your viewer's attention is always drawn upwards towards the dragon, which is the focal point, right? It's a sick dragon. One thing that also looked really odd to me in this piece is the level of detailing in some aspects of the dragon that make no sense. Why are there so many details on like the edges of the wing here where I feel like it's not relevant to add. Or the wyvern. Oh, right, because wyvern have wings and 4 legs, but dragons have wings and like 2, right? Something like that. And what happened to the muddy detail of the face over here? Like, the amount of stuff that is emphasized on the dragon doesn't make sense relative to somebody who's doing line work of a dragon. But I have a theory as to why they did it. Again, notice the really weird fuzzy detail with the rock. I want you to, again, notice the really weird fuzzy detail with the dog. Look at all these like random black lines on the dog, but it doesn't look like somebody's shading the dog. And the face, where are the eyes? You didn't darken the pupils at all? This person looks possessed. And the teeth, it looks scary. Like, the stuff that this person is darkening and emphasizing in their line work makes the pieces look scary. They've lined all the teeth, but did not black out the pupils to make it look like the person has eyes. And here's my theory. They are using a filter in Clip Studio Paint to do this. Time to whip out the good old trusty drawing tablet, y'all. So what you can do in Clip Studio Paint, which is actually something that webtoon artists do to make their lives easier. If you go to filter and you go to effect and you go to artistic, and you select lines only. So instead of colors and lines, which can make it look more colorful, or colors only, you can actually do lines only. And then you can fudge around with the line thickness to your own personal liking. Line simplicity. Oh, look how it starts to look a little fuzzy and sketchy, guys. Line density with how many lines you want. Opacity if you want it darker, lighter. Line anti-aliasing, which makes it look a little fuzzier. Oh, look, guys. I just made line art of a dragon holding a ball and chain. And look how it doesn't do a really good job of emphasizing elements of this piece. Weird elements are emphasized, whereas other elements that would be more relevant are not. For example, look how muddy the face looks, because the face has a lot of wrinkles and stuff like that. Every single teeth is basically defined for some reason, and then some other elements aren't as defined. Let's look at this guy's dog. Doesn't the rendering of my fake Clip Studio Paint piece that I just hit, filter, artistic, look a lot like the rendering on this dog, with the weird hatching in random places where it doesn't make sense for it to be? And then some elements just being really low res for no reason. Like, look how rendered each individual tooth is, but just nothing on the paws. Just the paws are like nubs, but each tooth is there. Same thing with this guy. When it comes to the foot, because it's like lighter in color, it just washed it out completely. But the teeth is like heavily rendered for some reason. You know, there's just coincidentally that similarity here. Same thing with the dragons. Like, why is every single tooth rendered super well, but then the belly of the dragon is just, or the wyvern, if we're being specific here, it's just, nope, yep, we're gonna forget about that. We're not gonna render anything over here anymore. And again, with this wyvern up here, every jagged edge is like super, super shaded, blocked in, and then just other stuff just gone. This is my theory as to what happened, as to why it looks like this. How does this guy have really AI looking pieces like this? This looks really AI. I think to some extent, this person is doing the same thing to an AI photo. But here, I just yoinked this off Google. I didn't generate a new AI image because that feels bad. Okay, so I'm just gonna black out the background here. So once again, we take our photo, then we go to filter, and then we go to effect, artistic. Oh, wow. Looky here, we can get all the line art for our person. And then you can fudge around to see how detailed or undetailed you want it to be. But yeah, I think this person, what they're doing is doing some sort of generation like this. And then there's 2 ways you can go from here. What I think they did was they took this AI photo after they rendered it to only lines, then they just literally drew directly over it and faked it as if it was their process. You know, they probably just, you know, oh, look, I am drawing the eyeballs now. Oh, I'm not even following the lines correctly here. Look at me, haha, I drew this all by myself. You know, completely tracing over the lines that was put beneath it from the AI, like from this line filter that already gives us really, really solid looking line work. And they're like, oh, yep. You know, and then, you know, they hide it afterwards. I can draw faces. I think to some extent they're doing this because the hair does look different. So I think what they're doing is they're drawing in the hair themselves because the hair does look like it's drawn differently. So I think in some regards, they're taking the AI piece, they're tracing over it, and then they're doing some sort of like, hair doodling over. And then the second option, though, is you can do some sort of faking process. With the faking process, what you do is you take the fully rendered piece and then you dump white paint over it like this. So it's like, oh, look, I'm drawing the eye. Oh, look, you know, I'm drawing the other eye. And then, oh, we got the iris. I got the other eye. Up, doing the lower lashes, lower lashes. Where's the nose? Oh, it's down here. So if you do with a smaller eraser, it looks more legit. Oh, one nose. And then, oh, doing the mouth. And then they'll come back and erase a little bit more to make it look darker. And then they're like, oh, we're drawing this out. And they slowly erase out from the white top layer to reveal the generated piece below it, which is another option. My theory is they did a combination of both. So my theory is they did that for the face, but then they hand drew in the hair. It just looks odd. Like you can fake all of the sketching process, you know, doing some drawing processes. The eyebrows just look odd. This is a very AI structured face to me. And then the hair, I think, is actually hand drawn, potentially. Because again, you can see this is all looking very AI, especially this one. It's really giving AI here. And then Friendly Neighborhood Artists actually DM'd them. So they said, do you have an older account by chance? I'm asking because you said you graduated with a degree in fine arts, but you don't have any of your work you've done on your Instagram. Tatian says, thank you for your interest. My old account has many of my artworks, but it also contains a lot of personal content, so I'm hesitant to share. Friendly Neighborhood Artist says, it would make me feel more comfortable. A lot of people sell books, but have a short online art history and have no identity, so we don't know if they're real people or not. Often they aren't real, but I understand your privacy. And Tatian says, thank you for understanding. And they said, thanks, I appreciate it. And then Friendly Neighborhood Artist did a bunch of sleuthing. So again, like I said, Tatian is selling an ebook. And by the way, I'm just saying here right now, don't trust people if they have something to sell to you. You got to use your brain before you open up your wallet. Otherwise, you will lose money. Yeah, the store looks really sus. And Friendly Neighborhood Artists pointed out a couple elements that looked really sus. Comic Pencil. Remember we talked about Comic Pencil earlier, that site? That site is down now. But if you put in tatandrawing.com, there is a Wayback Machine snapshot of the page. And there are two things that are really sus about the page. First is that there were already reviews on the website before it was even launched. So on the tatandrawing.com ebook site, there were already reviews before the site was launched. Best case scenario, homie was faking reviews, which is not a good scenario at all. Or here's the other one. Friendly Neighborhood Artists again put in tatandrawing.com into the Wayback Machine. And look what the URL says. It links you back to Comic Pencil. Remember Comic Pencil? We talked about them in the beginning, who had a proven fake AI art book that they were selling. Tatian, why does your new ebook link back to their book? Their website? Somebody who was knowingly already proven and outed to be a thief. Their site is down now for selling AI art. Huh? That's very sus. Yeah, they're trying to be sneaky. So Friendly Neighborhood Artists' conclusion is that the Tatian account is the Comic Pencil account just rebranded because Comic Pencil got caught. So they came back with a bang, trying to scam once again, using AI and a brand new account. And I believe it. This page looks like it's AI and all the art piece looks somewhat off. The lines are really weird. And I don't think it's a stylistic weird. I think it's a bro ran it through a filter type weird because they show you an art sketch process here. The line work of this really reminds me again of the filter I was showing you. It really reminds me of this and they like drew over it or something. It just looks odd to me. And they have their ebook. After mastering the general shape of the face, you can learn about features like the eyes, nose, and mouth. The drawing sequence above is adapted from the Loomis method of drawing. Understanding the principles of form allows you to understand. Okay, then we have some shading tutorials. Understanding the form makes it easier to create shadows. It doesn't recommend to study anatomy. The principle of anatomy can... Also, on a side note, look, man. Look, I truly think this guy is scamming, so I'm gonna flame his thing, right? What in the nothing is this? Let me just back this up because this is what he showed us, right? After mastering the general shape of the face, you can learn about other stuff. No shit. So how do I master the shape of the face, bro? Tell me. Tell me how I master the shape of the face. You got these like little circles, sure, but like, okay, but tell me why. Why do I start with the ball with the cross facing up? Why do I cleave two sides off of it? But they just say after mastering, then you can move on to this. Understanding the principles of form allow you to draw accurate three-dimensional shapes from every angle. Again, of course, if I master anatomy, I can draw well. Teach me how to master anatomy, good sir. Understanding the plane of the head makes it easy to represent. Obviously, if I master the shape of the head, I can draw a head. Obviously, if I understand the form, I can create shadows. Teach me how. This book is telling you so much and absolutely nothing at the same time. It's literally so full of bull. By the way, on a complete side note, in my little conspiracy theory, I just want to point out this guy loves green. Notice in his ebook how he highlights everything with green. All the elements he wants you to look at is green. Like these guys love to use the same color palette, like yellow, green, and red. but like very, very desaturated yellow, greens, and reds and purples. A desaturated purple, a desaturated pink, a desaturated green, and they did use yellow again. I don't know, the style looks really similar in the coloring of it. This book was already exposed for being completely AI generated, and then they got canceled. And they came back under this account, AI generating, but it's a little bit different now. Only line work now. And maybe they figured, hey, if I don't show the colors, because rendering is a big giveaway of AI, they're like, what if I only do the line art so there's no rendering as the giveaway? Then maybe people won't suspect me. The proof was in the pudding. This dude's new website links back to the old website. So how did you get a website that links back to another one that used to have stolen art? So anyways, at the end of the day, this guy is a known scammer, so don't put your money in his pocket. I mean, do whatever you want with your money, I guess. It's your loss if you lose it to a AI scammer. And again, big thank you to Friendly Neighborhood Artist for making the first video breakdown that I looked at to study off of for what I told you guys. Play it smart out there. That guy's a scammer.